Hello and welcome to Wisconsin.golf and our first Wisconsin.golf spotlight. And we welcome to the program co-founder of Old Fashioned Golf. It is Kyle Herzog. Kyle, first of all, thanks a lot for your sponsorship of Talking.golf, our podcast with me and Gary D'Amato, but also for bringing a lot of flair to the golf industry in your apparel, and especially a lot of flair as it relates to Wisconsin. I mean, what a great concept. What great merchandise that you have. And I'm wearing the Packer fired state logo theme here with the yellow state outline. Now, the state outline is called what?
The Polka State. We usually call that one the Polka State.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I looked at the website again yesterday.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
And because I always struggle with that when Gary and I are talking about it, because these are, as you know, these are our favorites. Because
that's good. I like that. Yeah, that was our first design too. Yep.
Yeah, and I know that again this year the Polka State was in great supply down at the Wisconsin-Illinois Golf Writers matches.
Yeah.
A number of our media colleagues have the white Polka State with the
Absolutely.
red, and so that was a victorious good luck charm for Team Wisconsin.
That's good. We'll take part of the credit for that. I like that.
I'm glad. Yes, and but Old Fashioned Golf, like a lot of things related to the golf boom here that we're in, started during COVID. Why don't you take us through how this whole concept of Old Fashioned Golf started?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think it started kind of like you said. Me and my two co-founders, two of my best friends my whole life, Joe Moretti, Scott Bealey. We love Wisconsin sports. We love golf. We were golfing one day at a course here near Green Bay. We all live in Green Bay. And as I recall it, someone walked in with a hat with the shape of Wisconsin on it, something like that. And we started to talk about, why isn't there more fun Wisconsin-themed golf apparel? That people from Wisconsin all love to wear Wisconsin clothes. We all know that. And people love to golf. So can we mix those two? The three of us don't have any apparel background. We didn't really know what we were doing. We just started to make some designs, started to reach out to suppliers, and it went from there. And our first design, like you see there, was kind of just the state repeating. And from there, it's kind of gone crazy. We have a lot of things that play on the license plate, the state flag, beer, cheese, the 100 things you can think of that Wisconsin people love. That's what we've gotten into. It started with polos. We had a couple hats. Gosh, now we have polos, hats, quarter zips, hoodies. I'm wearing a hoodie.
Oh, I love that.
That we're about to launch. I don't know what we'll see when we air this, but we're going to launch this any day now.
Okay.
And for the Christmas season, gosh, we have ball markers, towels, that general idea that people want to show their love of Wisconsin in their golf apparel and their apparel in general. It's really expanded. So it's been every day is exciting. I learn something new every day, but it's been great. And thank you for your support along the way.
Well, and one of the reasons we wanted to do this now, this we'll post this here the week of Thanksgiving. So just ahead of the Black Friday shopping start, although it seems like Christmas shopping season gets going earlier and earlier.
But like September at this point, it starts.
Exactly. Yeah. It's pretty much year round. You order it and you put it in a closet and hope you remember to wrap it at Christmas time.
Exactly.
So, you've had a couple Christmas seasons to, under your belt. What has reaction been like at this time of year? And if there was a message for the golf fan, about don't forget Old Fashioned Golf, what would that be?
Yeah, we looked at our numbers for the past couple of years recently, and of course we thought the summer months would be where we do the majority of our activity, and it is. But actually, November and December are as big as July and August for us because of the holiday shopping season, exactly like you said. So I think it tends to be for us a lot more wives buying things for husbands or moms buying things for their son. We do have women's apparel too, but I think there's a lot of that. And this year when we launched quarter zips, and now that we're launching some actual cold weather gear, I think that's given even more options for the colder weather season. So it's about to get busy. Even as you say this today, I packed a bunch of orders after a little bit of a slower October. So we're excited for the next couple of weeks.
Now, the three of you that started the company, what do you have other jobs, or have you totally dived into Old Fashioned Golf?
We do. We have other jobs. We call this one our fun job, and then we have our real jobs too. But yeah, I'm an engineer. Joe works in real estate and Scott works in sales for beer. I should say that. That makes it more fun sounding. So we definitely have real jobs. We've all got young kids too. So how this tends to go is do a real job in the day, family and kids till 7 or 8 at night, and then you get your hour or two of old-fashioned golf stuff at night. So it's fun to have something you really like working on too. You know, there's parts of my real job I like too, in case they watch this. But obviously working on golf related things and Wisconsin themed things is just, that's what I love. So that's been really great for all of us.
Now I'm just seeing here that I might not have both of us on the screen here. Let's see if we can pin this
Oh, sure.
where we can have both of us kind of talking to each other there.
Yep.
There we go. I think that might work a little bit better. And
Good.
Trial, you're our guiney pig for this. So
Yeah, no problem.
You
I
know,
got no problem being a guinea pig. Yeah.
we want to do more of this, and we'll probably do more you know, follow up as you introduce new apparel, because I think it's exciting. The thing that really kind of makes or caught my interest is the fact that you guys didn't have any background in apparel, and then that means you didn't have any background in apparel design. The design seems so natural. Who gets credit for bringing the concepts to you know, to the website?
It's funny, we get input from everybody at this point. Like, not, you know, now that our friends and our family know we do this, I'd say twice a week I get a text message from someone of, hey, why don't you make an old-fashioned themed, you know, on the polo I'm wearing, this has been our best seller this year, all the
Oh, right,
old-fashioned
yeah.
ingredients. We get input from everybody at this point because people know we're doing it. Everybody loves Wisconsin. We're constantly getting input from them. Then the process of actually making that into a design we can put on the product, kind of all three of us have learned little parts of that. We also had no graphic design experience. So things like, you know, Photoshop and vector graphics, things like that. We are self-taught. The three of us have done little parts of it here and there. It's been a long journey, but now I'd say we're almost kind of good at it at this point. So we're getting the hang of it.
So the Polka State was the first design.
Yep.
What followed, and where did that inspiration come from?
That's a good question. The Polka State, we had a couple other real simple designs we started with, just with like stripes and green and gold, things like that. Then the next year we did a lot with the Great Lakes.
Okay.
I think some of our first ideas started, I think I was in Door County going to different shops, and, you know, they have a lot of locally themed things there. And I saw a lot of things with the Great Lakes shape on it and thought we could do the same thing with that. So we did some Great Lakes things. Then we went with the old fashioned, we did the Wis camo, which looks like a camouflage pattern, but it's all the shape of Wisconsin. And that one's really fun because people see it and they think it's camouflage. And then they kind of lean in and squint and go, hey, wait a minute, those are all Wisconsins.
Yes.
So we've done a lot of things with that, of just how do you use the state in a pattern people are familiar with, but then you've got that Wisconsin twist on it. So that was our second level of designs, I'd say.
Well, and I'll hold this up here. This is fresh out of the bag, because
There you go.
here in Arizona, it's been pretty hot. And then when I came back to Wisconsin for the October state high school tournament, it went from good weather to really cold, at least cold for me. So I went right to a down jacket, and I was layered, and so you wouldn't even seen this maybe other than under me. But this has that the Great Lakes effect, and it's you got a name for that. We'll show that in the when we try to call up the site here in a few minutes.
Sure.
This is pretty cool because it does highlight the entire, you know, upper Midwest, where we've got obviously the Lake Michigan that you see when you play Whistling Straits, when you play you know, some of the courses in Door County, and others. But it really is cool that you know, even though it's, you know, old-fashioned golf is steeped in Wisconsin, you guys are really celebrating the upper Midwest.
Exactly. Yeah, we've sold a ton of those to Michigan. We have a hat with the Great Lakes on it as well. And you're right, the really Wisconsin heavy things, of course, are going to be mostly Wisconsin. We saw a ton in Arizona too, actually. Interestingly, I think there's a lot of Wisconsin people in Arizona. But the Great Lakes, you know, the old fashioned ingredients we've got some stuff next year we're going to release with beer, cheese, which still is very Wisconsin, but not just Wisconsin. So kind of a light way to give some options to some people that aren't, you know, in Green Bay, put it that way.
Well, and one of the other things, if you've listened to our podcast, that I like to talk about a lot is the old fashioned or the Welcome to Wisconsin ball
Oh
marker.
yeah.
I mean, and this is on a lot of different things too, but or several different things.
Yep.
Now, I've got it clipped to my Wisconsin.golf hat. You might
Perfect.
wonder where the Wisconsin license plate hat is
Oh
that
yep.
was part of the package that I ordered earlier this year, and that went to my son. Now, Kyle, this says something about what you guys are doing. When's the last time anybody my age had a kid say, "I want something that you're wearing"? And
That's a good point. That's the best compliment we can get.
absolutely, and he wears that around a lot, gets a lot of great compliments down here in Arizona. And but this Welcome to Wisconsin sign thing
Yeah.
is, you know, I mean, since I was a little kid, my dad was from Chicago. We would go down and see my grandma a lot, you know, over the border. And when we come back, it was like, okay, we were living in central Wisconsin at the time, probably 3 hours from home.
Yep.
And that is a sign that resonates with a lot of people.
Exactly. That ball marker has gone crazy. We have that on a hat too. You're right. Exactly. It's kind of like the camouflage thing where people glance and they see the shape of Wisconsin and then they lean in. Wait a minute, that's that sign when I come back home. So it's people have that instant connection to the product, which a lot of our marketing has kind of been exactly the example you just gave. People see it, someone else wearing it, and then they want it for themselves. So it's taken off on its own quite a bit, which has been great for us.
Now, did I read somewhere where you have gotten a little bit into pro shops, or is this strictly online?
Yeah, we've got quite a bit in pro shops at this point. We're probably in 20 courses around the state, I'd say. What's really been great on that is the first year we were probably in 2 or 3. The second year, maybe 8, 10. It seems like every year it's doubling, and every pro shop comes back the next year, which I think is a great sign that stuff is selling through for them, which is good. The area that has really grown the most for us is high schools and colleges. The thing, I don't even know where it started, but with one local high school, someone saw our Polka State polo that you're wearing and said, "Could you do that with our high school logo?"
Oh,
And we
wow.
said yes, and we did that for them. And from there, it's gone crazy. We probably have 40-ish high schools that we make custom gear for at this point. Similar to Wisconsin, where people really love to show off their local pride in their apparel. Same with people's high schools too. And golf teams in Wisconsin, so many, not that it's a bad option, but have, the gray polo that says De Pere on it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's a lot more fun to have a polo with 1,000 De Peres on it, and you had a say in designing. So custom for us, especially in 2023, was crazy. I think it's going to be even crazier in 2024. So we're really excited about that.
And again, you know, this is something that needs to speak to all ages. I cover a lot of
Yep.
junior golf. I don't think I can remember necessarily a junior golfer outside of the high school season where you might, like you say, have your, you know, your orange and black of Cedarburg, or, you know, your I get, you know, what name your, you know, De Pere,
Oh yeah.
the red and white
Redbirds.
and
Yep.
black. Yeah.
Yep.
And so, you know, it's all about being not necessarily flamboyant, but colorful. And
Yeah.
certainly you guys passed the test there.
It's something I always think of it as something people want to wear. We've done it with quite a few local businesses too in Wisconsin. Like the same idea that for every business you work for, you get the polo that has the business logo on the chest, and that's fine. And you'll wear it to a show, and that's fine. But even the company I work for, I've made up with the business colors all over it and the logo all kinds of places. And our polos have a collar phrase, we call it, where you can put a custom phrase under the collar.
Oh,
And
wow.
businesses and schools love that too, because then you can put your business motto there. You can put your new brand slogan. You can put your high school, mantra you all say. So again, it connects people to the product a lot more than white polo logo on the
Yeah,
chest. So that's been fun.
absolutely. Now, so walk me through this. I mean, do you and your partners have like regular meetings where you sit around and someone comes up, you know, they flip up the under thing of their collar and say, "We got to put something here."
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've again with the all of us have 2 young kids each, so finding time to meet is always brutal. But at
Sure.
least a couple times a month, we try to get together and we talk about all of that. Hey, here's new design. I think here's what I heard from a friend. Here's what this customer said to me. Here's the new design I think we should do next year. It's kind of all over the place, but yeah, we try to meet regularly and bounce all those ideas off each other. Sometimes they're bad ideas, mostly mine, but you get through those and you get to the good ideas eventually.
What about the red tape? How have you guys navigated the red tape? Obviously, this has a Packer theme, but it's not
Sure.
the Packer logo, so you should be safe there. This is colors, not concept, not
Yep.
trademark. Uh, the state of Wisconsin, I would hope, embrace the license plate concept of getting that out there.
Exactly. Yeah. In the spirit of bootstrapping this and keeping costs low while we started, there's some free legal services you can use. Like we worked with a group at St. Thomas University where some of their law students are trying to learn about things like trademark law, and they would help us with things like that. Of hey, the license plate. If we're gonna make a design based on that, are we good here? And they would work through kind of all the red tape, like you said, and make sure we're good. I think you hit the nail on the head. Colors are good. Got to be a little careful with, don't say Packers, don't use the G, things like that. But I think the thing you said at the end is important too, that this just brings more attention and appreciation to the state of Wisconsin. So I think that helps us too, even if, in the future we have something that toes the line somewhere. We're not trying to steal from anybody. We're just trying to give people more of a chance to show off their love for the state and our teams and everything about Wisconsin.
It started off golf, but do you feel now more than golf? Because I mean, you can wear this out and about. You can,
Absolutely.
the different shirts in the quarter zips. You can wear those out and just make people look at, okay, what is that person wearing? Oh,
What
that's
is that?
cool.
Exactly. My bad analogy I've been making is I feel like golf polos and quarter zips have become like yoga pants. That
Sure.
everyone wears yoga pants. No one's wearing them for yoga.
Right.
Everyone just wears them because they're super comfortable. I think that's the same thing with golf. Polos, quarter zips, hats, all of it. It's comfortable, it's moisture wicking, all that. Okay, I want that all the time, even if I'm not golfing. So you're exactly right. We've joked before of old fashioned golf might have to turn into old fashioned gear someday. I think we're ways from that. But you're exactly right. I wear mine constantly all the time. I see people at my work wearing them all the time in the office because they're just comfortable and stretchy and nice. And I don't necessarily have to be on the course to enjoy that.
Um, we haven't even talked about the background on the name of the company. Old Fashioned Golf. Obviously, Old Fashioned, the iconic drink in the state of Wisconsin. Are you an Old Fashioned fan, or did that just come because you wanted to really reach out to the people who have made the Old Fashioned your starting point for a Friday fish fry or a
That's right.
Saturday prime rib dinner?
I'd say both. I'd say all three of us definitely love the old fashions. And that, like you said, that was our thought of it's something that is definitely very Wisconsin, very Midwest. So some of the surrounding states will think of that too. But constantly when you hear about Wisconsin and like lists of things that really represent Wisconsin, old fashioned is always on that list. So it was a fun sounding name to us, old fashioned golf, OFG, we call it a lot. There's a nice short version of it. It was something that was different, just searching around. There's nothing that sounds like old fashioned golf, things like that. And it just, yeah, it screams Wisconsin is the way we've always put it. So that's what we went with.
Outstanding. Now I'm going to try to work with let's see here. We're going to go try to share the screen here
Oh, sure.
and go to the Old Fashioned Golf, and
Here we go.
the one
Yep.
there we go. Let's
Yep.
maximize this. My computer desktop is a mess. See if we can get that a little bit bigger. And let's start first with the polos. The
Yep.
Polk States we've talked about, but I-43, the
Yep.
concept behind I-43 is an interesting one to me because it takes those pieces of the license plate and
Yeah.
puts them in a pattern, and I just think this is fabulous.
Yeah.
And the license plate is called I-43. Is that the name across the board for everything?
Pretty much anything that uses that license plate design, with us being in Green Bay and I-43 being the major highway by us, that was the name we came up with. But like you said, we use that on, there's a hat, a polo, a towel, quarter zips, we're going to come out with this hoodie soon. anything we put that on seems like it becomes our best seller in that category. So the I-43 has been very, very good to us.
Um, the icon is simply items from Wisconsin, and I'm sitting and like you say, you almost have to stare deep into the screen
Yeah.
and look and see what you've all got here. Obviously, the beer mug, the slice of cheese, the state capitol, and then a little flower. Is that am I?
That's the state capitol too. Yeah, that's
It
the
is
state capitol from the top. Yeah, and
from
then
the
there's
top.
this one was a little bit Madison focused. The Monona
Yes.
Terrace is on there too.
Oh,
The
yep.
bikes are kind of Madison. So yeah, a lot of somewhat specific to Madison, but again, all around Wisconsin, people love all those same things too.
The 1848 is more about the state of Wisconsin, and I think this is where you kind of take the concept of the Wisconsin theme to that next level. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I've always been proud of what happens at the state capitol, and always proud of the you know, the state as a state entity. This is kind of like something that, you know, you might find at the if the information desk at the Capitol also had a souvenir shop next to it
That's right.
that had apparel, at least. I think they've got some little knickknack items, but this would be there.
That's
I
a good
mean, this is
idea.
pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The same idea of the license plate, just how do you take those elements of the flag, mix them up into a new pattern that people recognize, but it's also a little different. You know, you've never seen the elements of the flag broken up that way. So that one's done great for us too.
The elements of the flag, the elements of the license plate. You've got the camo here, the red icon, the sherbet or the sorbet, if you will. It, that is, my dad was a big sherbet guy, and
Oh yeah.
and so, but yet they're in the state of Wisconsin logos, right?
Yeah, this one it's similar to our Wiscamo idea. We just wanted a lot of the golf apparel you see, you mentioned is bold. This was our first attempt at being a little bolder than anything else we had. So we got that. And then actually, the three of us who founded it are originally from Manitowoc, Wisconsin, where there's a big cedar crest.
Oh,
There's a lot
right.
of people that's there. And those colors are very similar to what you see in that rainbow sherbet from Cedar Crest. So that's kind of what led us there.
And the muskie for all the fishermen in the audience and
Exactly.
women, and
Yep.
the Dairyland, the old fashioned, the Woody. I haven't explored the Woody here. It is
It's
what?
yeah, and that's one. The wood violet is the state flower of Wisconsin, which most people probably don't even know and think about, but there still is a Wisconsin tie, and just we like those colors, the pattern. That one we actually launched at the Milwaukee Golf Show last year as an exclusive there and expanded
Sure.
it from there. But that's been really popular. When people wear that one out, I'd say I get the most secondhand compliments on that one. That, hey, I wore this out to dinner, and people were coming up to my table to ask me where I got that polo. That one really seems to draw a lot of attention when people wear it out.
So who's responsible for checking out, what is it, the Wisconsin Blue Book, or that lists all the
I have that. I've got the Wisconsin Blue Book right over there. You nailed it. Yeah,
very
exactly.
few of us have that. I think I've still got one from when I was back in college. You know, they would give us one at the UW when you were taking political science classes, and
Exactly.
it's an encyclopedia of state knowledge, and
Yep.
and I mean, not many things change when it's the official this or the official that.
Right.
I'm guessing that the mosquito, isn't that coming next?
That's a good idea. We could do that. That might make people angry. We actually myself and Joe and Scott met last week and talked about our 2024 designs, and we're going to launch one next year that has the robin on it.
Oh,
the
nice.
the state bird of Wisconsin. So kind of this idea, it feels like we've got a lot of designs, and yet it also feels like we're just scratching the surface of all the Wisconsin things that are out there. So we're really excited.
The way you've arranged the logos on the shirts is pretty cool, and you know, it's almost like you know, your computer wallpaper, or you
Yeah.
know, it really, you know, pops. But on hats, it's a different concept, and you've got to make people, you almost have to have it big enough for people to see. And I think with the I-43 hats, and the hat that my son grabbed was the Midnight Drive one, and he
Yep.
really likes that. You know, he works at Starbucks, so the black, you know, color kind of goes
Oh, perfect.
with that. But you know, to to go from just kind of a random presentation of the license plate items to then a landscape version of that, you really have to know how to present that where so it all kind of flows.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You can't putting the full pattern on the front might be a lot. We've had the opportunity to put it underneath the brim, which I think, like you see in there, is kind of a
Yeah.
cool differentiator, that it's not quite as in your face when you look at it, but it's still there and it still makes
Right.
the hats different, a little bit of pop. But you're right, the one big logo has kind of been our go-to on the hats.
And I think the brim is the underside of the brim is a little bit forgotten.
Yeah,
You can if you're you miss a birdie putt, you tilt your hat back about like you're gonna swat
and
it,
there it is.
that all of a sudden there it is, and
That's right, exactly.
you've got stuff there.
Yep.
And of course, you took the state of Wisconsin with the flag in as I like to say in Beloit. Is it Beloit or Janesville? Do you think
It's
that
supposed to be Madison. We might be a little bit
is?
off on Madison, but yeah, you're pretty close. Yeah.
It's yeah, I like that idea though. That's actually pretty good. So we'll start as Gary and I talk about this. I'll be using I'm just gonna pepper him with information now that I know
That's
all the
good.
insider
You
stuff
got all
here.
this info now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I knew that there was the freshwater rope for the Great Lakes theme to
Yep.
me is it does look like a rope, doesn't it, when you put all the
Yep.
lakes together.
Yep. Yeah,
That is
exactly.
that is cool. And the trademark, it's the Old Fashioned Golf trademark.
That's our
And
logo. Yep.
yes, and I think that's going to continue to catch on, and
Yep.
because you guys are certainly gaining traction there, and then
Hope so.
the official marker I just saw when I was going through preparing for this, and this is on what, because it's obviously something that is a state of Wisconsin icon too.
Yep. It's on, like, you see like a plaque outside of an old building that this has been deemed a Wisconsin historical site.
Marker,
Then
yes.
they put that logo on it. And I don't even remember where I was, somewhere in Green Bay, and I saw it, that badge, and I thought that's really cool. That would look good on a hat. Again, same thing like you said before. I talked to the free legal services we have, made sure we were good to go, and we put it on a hat. And same thing, yeah. That one people don't recognize as much, but it's still obviously Wisconsin. The Badger, Wisconsin, the words, obviously, it still gets your attention pretty quick.
Now, I'm going to bring up head covers because my partner Gary D'Amato and I have not only do we differ on whether we use really good golf balls or not, we also differ on whether we use head covers or not. And
Oh,
as
really?
Gary got both the head cover and the putter cover,
Nice.
and I chose the head cover, and it hasn't come out of the bag either because
Oh,
I don't.
really?
I will occasionally have the head cover on my driver just so that the clubs don't clank in the cart.
Oh, yeah.
But once I start playing, it comes off and it sits in the back. And at least here in Arizona, it can get dusty, it can get dirty. It's
Yep.
too good, Kyle, to get it dirty. But
You keep it in the bag. Just carry it with you. I like
and then
that.
Gary must only have one putter, because if he could choose a putter head cover, it's either the mallet or the wider thing like the 2-ball.
Yep. Yep.
And so he chose one. I keep going back and forth. I just bought my wife a 2-ball putter as part of there was
nice.
one on the board, and I started using it. That may end up in my bag, I told her. But I'm right now I'm using one that would fit, just the regular mallet type, the smaller, sleeker one.
Nice.
How are head covers? The response to head covers, because I have to think anybody who uses one has got to have one of these in their bag.
Yeah. Yeah. The head covers kind of started interesting, where we made them just for us. We made, I think, 3, 4, 5 of them just for the founders. And then we used them for a year, constantly had people asking about them. The quality was really good. And it went from there. Well, let's make a little batch and see how they do. And these have done really, really well in golf courses. When people actually see them up close and feel them, they've done really well. That the road trip head cover one is actually, we had done that originally for Kohler. Some of the shops at Kohler bought that. So I think we'll do more of these. We've done quite a few custom head covers too. A lot of high schools, so a couple colleges, some businesses. Again, that's another one where a lot of people have head covers. Most of the time, they're the one you got with your driver, and they're not very fun. if you've got the opportunity
Yep.
to put something on there that's a little bit more unique, people have been very interested in that. So these have done well too.
And on the head covers for the drivers, is that what we would call throwback? I started seeing those, pop up, recently, for a long time, because as the size of the driver head grew,
Yep.
obviously the head cover kept growing and growing,
Yep.
and all the manufacturers have them. The one thing I noticed is the manufacturer ones, either the neck, that thing they have on the neck, the nylon, it goes after about a season or two.
Yeah.
And now I've noticed that the head cover I have with, I think it's one of my Titleist drivers, that it is just starting to, and maybe it's the heat of Arizona, just starting to just disintegrate.
Yeah.
This to me seems as good a quality as anything else you make, and it just basically pulling it over the top of the driver. And I've seen a lot of these in a lot of different, like you said, a lot of colleges, go this route. But I think you found a winner there.
I think so too. Yeah, like you said, the quality of them when they held up as well as they did for us when we made them for ourselves, that's where it kind of went from there. So we've had nothing but good feedback on those. Looking forward to more of those in the future too.
And well, we'll not last but not least, but it's the second to last here, the towel section of the website. I got the Wisconsin golf course towel. I think this has to be, while I'm sure it'll change from time to time. I know from our website tracking golf course closings, openings, additions, whatever it might be. We lose a couple here and there, but for the most part, I think we've pretty much settled in on a pretty good collection of golf courses around the state. Are they all on the towel?
I believe so. I'll be honest with you on that design. We are in a local store in Green Bay here, a local shop, and they had a print of that, like a poster you could put on your wall.
Wow.
And I asked her where she got it. She told me the artist, and I reached out to him, said, "Hey, can I buy this art from you? And we want to put it on a towel." So all credit to him. I wish I had his name, but he made this, and we just kind of said, "Can we put it on a towel?" So if you want a print of this, it's on Etsy too to maybe give him some business. But this is from, I think it was from last year, so likely pretty up to date there.
Yeah.
But like you said, I know there's some, I bet the Lido isn't on there, and some rumblings of a new course by Kohler I've heard. Those,
Yes.
so it'll be out of date eventually, but we'll see.
But it can always be updated. I'm sure the artist
That's right.
it, and then you can continue to do business. It's
Exactly.
Like, the supper clubs of Wisconsin. It's kind of like everything else you could do. When you could put one
the supper clubs,
where every Culver's is. I'd like that.
Oh, now you're talking.
Where every Quick Trip in Wisconsin is.
It would be black dots everywhere.
It would be black dots everywhere. They don't stop. And then, of course, last but not least, the ball markers. I showed you earlier in this, the Wisconsin welcomes you, but you have the I-43 ball marker, the Wisconsin ball marker with the flag in Madison. And, it just, and I noticed too, so it's a magnetic, the ball marker itself is magnetic on the back, and it clips to that, and it's a firm clip too.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
That's almost the same story as head covers for us, that we made a couple of those really just for ourselves. We thought it'd be cool. I think we looked at the one on the right with the red Wisconsin, and again, just the compliments we got and the quality, and it just seemed like, okay, this is great. Let's give this to other people. We launched these pretty late in 2023 actually, and they've done super well. Again, at courses, these do really well. We've got a couple of the bigger courses in Wisconsin that have them right by the register, and they've been burning through them pretty fast. So excited to do these. We made custom of those too. We made a custom batch for Coach Renke at UWGB. So nice. he's got some of those. So more of that in the future too.
That is outstanding. That is outstanding. Yeah. All right, let me try to get the screen share off here. We'll go back to normal business here. Let me see if I can. Boy, this might be a problem here. We may have to talk over the there we go. And
my IT skills aren't great either.
Yeah.
So no judgment here.
It's not letting me unshare, but let's keep talking here, Kyle. We'll kind of put a bow on this. What's next for the company? What's next as we look ahead to Old Fashioned Golf?
Yeah, I think the simple one is next year we'll release a bunch of new designs in all the things you see here. We're going to do quite a few more quarter zips, I think, next year, some more women's options. I think the biggest thing for next year is going to be high schools, colleges, and businesses. Like we talked about, the reaction we get from those is just so overwhelmingly positive. We got to do more of that. I think we'll push hard at that in the off season. We've worked with a couple of the groups in Wisconsin, some groups that ads or high school coaches,
Yeah.
and whenever there's one team at an event wearing our polos, all of a sudden 2 or 3 of the other coaches email us and want them too. So I think that's what's going to take off for us. But
Yeah.
the Wisconsin themed designs, that'll always be our number one. That'll be our bread and butter, and we'll just see where it goes from there. And then, of course, we're going to launch this any day now. So on our website, sign up for our emails. Yeah, people will see this come out any day now.
The I-43 hoodie.
Exactly.
That
Nice stretchy material too.
I love it.
Feels
It
kind of like your common hoodie material, but a little stretchy, which is cool.
It looks really comfortable.
It's good.
Yeah. Now, do you think it will ever reach a point where do those coaches then will that merchandise ever be available to the public? Have you talked to them about that?
Yeah, we've talked about that. There's a couple schools that have done that. Either they have a local shop on their facility where they put it in there. What a lot of them have talked about, and we haven't perfected yet, is what the players wear. A lot of the parents want to wear.
Oh,
so
right.
we've talked about almost doing it as like a fundraiser as well. That the team's gonna buy hoodies, and then the parents can buy them, and part of that money goes to the team. So
Sure.
we've got to work through all the details there, but I think when we can get to that point, that'd be great. I mean, the parents would love to be wearing a quarter zip similar to what the players are wearing, knowing some of that money went to the team. There's something there. We've just got to dot the I's and cross the T's. So we'll get there.
So the next question comes from my son. He wanted to know, would you ever branch out into another state? He thinks that the components of the Arizona license plate would make for some great apparel.
That's a hotly debated topic, I think. Probably. I think especially we would probably do some of the other Midwest states
Right.
around us. If we do that, what we've talked about is, I think no matter what, our website will always kind of stay Wisconsin.
Yep.
Wisconsin themed, Wisconsin things, that's it. We might have some wholesale options for courses in other states or work with the schools in other states. But for the website, the focus, Wisconsin's always going to be number one for us. So that's the plan.
Oh, I never thought about that. You could get to the other states through what you're doing in schools. I mean, you think about it now, you're in the high schools in Wisconsin. Some of those kids are going to go on and play college golf. They're probably going to take this polo or the polo of their high school with them. Their coach is going to see that, and you're going to get a phone call.
We've got a couple coaches we're talking to in other states right now with the exact story you just gave.
Wow.
High school golfer, got a D1 scholarship at that school. Their coach saw it, emailed us. So we're in the early stages of some of those.
Is it still fun? Is this still fun? Are you able to juggle all the things in your life? You're talking about you've got kids that are young kids that are at home. It's got to be a little bit of a juggling act.
It's extremely fun. I mean, there's once in a great while where some of the not as fun parts of the business, the taxes, the logistics, we got to figure out. But when it comes to the design, the calls like this, the sales, it's so much fun. I could talk about this forever. So still very fun. Got to balance it with the rest of life, but fun to have something you're passionate about on the side. So I hope it doesn't end. That's the goal.
And again, we're coming into the Black Friday, Christmas shopping season.
Yep.
What any tips for people that are going to be jumping on the website as far as how early do you place your order? How soon can it get there? What's the kind of the drop dead date for ordering that it'll get there in time for Christmas?
Yeah, good question. So we got a lot of inventory right now. We stocked up getting ready for this. Usually it's 2 to 3 days only from when you order to when you get it. If it's somewhere in Arizona, maybe we'll go 3 to 4.
Sure.
But most of our orders tend to be pretty local, 2 to 3 days. We're gonna have this one new design. We'll have a couple sales coming out. Sign up for our email lists, and we'll have some specials going. But we're stocked and ready, so we're excited.
For part of the time that this will be up on the site, you've got the ball marker promotion going where if you spend $50, you get the free ball marker. Leading up to Black Friday. I think when I clicked on the website the first time, there was something to get like percentage off. I mean, it's just there's a lot of ways that you can get involved with the ordering from the website. I have to think that after one time ordering, it becomes kind of like, oh gosh, I'm on oldfashionedgolf.com.
We've got a lot of repeat orders, that's for sure, which is a great thing. Yeah, and like you said, you sign up for our email list, you get 20% off. We've got some other fun specials we're going to launch of free hats, percent off. We'll have a couple things. So, like you said, sign up for our emails, 20% off, and see what we got going on.
Well, keep checking oldfashionedgolf.com and keep checking out talking.golf as we continue to talk about all the stuff that Old Fashioned Golf has to offer. I can't wait to record this week and pepper Gary with some knowledge now that I have it here. And
All kinds of info he doesn't have.
oh
That's
my
good.
goodness. Yeah, it is just outstanding. My head is spinning. I mean, there's a story behind everything on the website, which I think is cool. And that's the neat thing about a startup company in Wisconsin. You guys have your heart's in the right place, and you are thinking about things that we've seen for our entire lives. And I think that's cool. And I think it's fun to wear the product.
That's good. Thank you. Yeah. And thank you for your support. I mean, all the people that have brought the attention to Wisconsin golf, you're helping us too. The people that love Wisconsin golf tend to love our product. So it's been a good relationship. So thank you too.
Awesome. That's Kyle Herzog, the co-founder of Old Fashioned Golf. And you can check out all the stuff that Old Fashioned Golf has to offer at oldfashionedgolf.com. And that has been your Wisconsin.golf Spotlight.